What's happening, guys? Gemma here and back again for a phone cam retro game hunt. And I say phone cam as you're familiar with my channel. You'll know we alternate between this kind of game hunt, which is a little bit more ad hoc compared to the professional stuff with the GoPro, the gimbal and the DSLR. This time it is a mixture of this place, which is Swap and Save, CEX in Loughborough, and a mixture of charity shops in Nottingham and Loughborough as well. And I credit Jess for this footage. There is a slight dip in quality in terms of it being not as crisp, but nonetheless you guys get a really good look at some brand new places. Did pick up an original Xbox game as well as an intriguing game guide. I already put the Xbox game over on Instagram. Go and give us a follow, and I just need to maybe put out the game guide on Instagram as well, because it's kind of like a fan written game guide, but more will come on that over on Insta. Now, as always, make sure you check the videos in the cards. We've had two amazing retro game hunts with the DSLR and gimbal and GoPro. Go and check them out. They'll be located in the cards. And if you're new here, make sure you thump that sub button if you want more out and about stuff. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to stream this weekend. That's why there'll be videos instead, because we're swapping internet provider and I'm in the middle of getting an Ethernet port put in, so things are a little bit messy here at TheGebs24 HQ, but nonetheless, it is what it is. Now, these mega CD games piqued my interest. Mickey Mania and Earthworm Jim. Really like to see some variation within CEXs. Tends to be okay on prices with CEX, I found of late. And a lot of you guys have spotted that as well. Now, this footage here is back on my phone, my iPhone 10, hence the little quality bump. This was in Oxfam. I was actually surprised that there were two Oxfam shops in Nottingham that actually had some really good stuff in. You saw Bioshock there, the collector's tin. There were some comics, some really kick-ass manga, some really good stuff. We got Assassin's Creed Revelations there. Nothing else really jumped out in Nottingham, but I'm not one of the kinds of YouTubers that's just going to show all the glory when it comes around to retro game hunting. You're going to get an accurate depiction of what's out there, even if it's not that great. As you guys can see here, there's some generic stuff. WRC, so World Rally Championship Extreme. I always check the DVD stuff because I have actually found games wedged in with the DVDs. As you guys can see, there's like FIFA in with the DVD stuff, but sometimes you do get that hidden gem that just pops out and you're like, yes, get in. Now, this was in the other Oxfam stores. You guys can see there is a plethora of comics and manga, some really decent stuff. I was pleasantly surprised. The prices were a little too steep, and I always like to show variation. It's not all about games, it's just generic geekware. Now, in the store next to this, there was a thrift store and it had a Game Boy Advance. There was also a PlayStation 1 console in here, which was astronomically priced at £30, with no games and no box, unfortunately. But nonetheless, I guess it's for charity, so it is for a good cause. But please let me know, when you find games in charity stores, do you think that they tend to be kind of the really highly priced stuff, even for basic games, or do you feel that they can charge whatever they want because it is for a good cause? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts. Now we're dropping back to CEX. I think as far as CEX stores go, the ones near me tend to be pretty depleted when it comes round to like variation of stock. That's why when Jess sent me this footage, I thought there was some really nice stuff, like I said earlier, with the mega CD stuff. You know, it was just nice to see. I always like to give CEX a chance. I'm open-minded to shopping anywhere when it comes round to video games. I think that a lot of it tends to be online, so we really just need to be appreciative of local retro game stores, you know, as well as places like this, you know, your second-hand stuff. I like to capture everything. Now, DS games, there's a plethora. there's always a plethora of Nintendo DS stuff. No matter where you go, I just see an abundance of it, and sadly I don't think it sells up just as big as in the way there. Oops, apologies for that. Move it out the way, there we go. There's like a plethora of it, and it doesn't sell, like probably because CEX used freaking photocopied covers on some of their games, which is shady. We've already talked about that on the channel, but it just tends to sit there. So let me know why you think that is. Are people not paying attention to the DS as much? I think that's a fair shout. I think the DS has definitely seen its kind of shelf life. I think there's way too many games for the Nintendo DS, and I think that becomes a problem as people just want to just trade them in, you know, get them out of the way. Whatever. Now here's a handheld that perhaps isn't as saturated. In fact, it's not as saturated in terms of its game library. The PlayStation Vita and arguably the PSP, there tends to be a lot of inconsistencies with what I find for the PlayStation Portable. You either find like loads of variants of different games, or it's just all the same stuff in like a really small section. But this wasn't too bad. The Nottingham store, there's a small CEX in Nottingham. There's actually two, but the smaller one tends to have a really good selection of PSP games if you live in that area. Now 360 again, great time to buy 360 games, great time to buy PlayStation 3 titles. Major price drops, but again, nothing jumped out here. You may be new to the channel, so I'm going to name drop 3D Dot Game Heroes as a PlayStation 3 hidden gem. If you've never heard of it, go check it out, come back to this video and thank me. If you're a Zelda fan, you're going to love it. Now we're swinging towards the end of this video, so like I said, unfortunately there will be no live streams this weekend because I'm getting my Ethernet port fit. The next live stream will be Thursday. We're going to continue Shenmue HD on the PlayStation 4, and then we have the long-awaited live stream series kickoff of the Resident Evil 2 remake. So I will see you guys very excitedly on stream this weekend. Thank you very much for watching. Please go and check out more retro game hunts. And this was in the pound store. £2 for a Brink? What a rip-off. Thank you for watching, guys. I love you. Peace out, and I will catch you in tomorrow's video.